80% of winning on social, any social, is consistent quality content. This is my life. I want to do what I want to do, and if I'm going to fail, it's going to be on my own terms. Successful people have a routine that sets them up for success. They demand excellence. If you're just seeing somebody walking in as your next suit or your next car, like, you're going to lose.
Hey, thanks for joining us today and being in the REC experience. I'm here sitting with the one and only Mr. Evan Carmichael. How are you doing today, my man?
Good, man.
Thank you for having us in your studio. I really appreciate it.
What does this thing say?
This says spread love.
Spread love. I like it, dude.
It's another local entrepreneur, Mr. Jason Faulkner, who went to high school with me. He started the Spread Love clothing brand.
All right.
And we obviously want to make
Spread
positivity and have more optimism in our lives. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to talk with you.
Let's go.
So for our viewers and our listeners, Evan, who haven't been on your YouTube page, and obviously they're living under a rock because you got close to or over 2 million subscribers.
But this guy didn't know who I was.
Wow. He's going to know, and so are my viewers and listeners.
He's like, I kind of saw you on Instagram. What do you do? Motivation stuff? Like, yeah, something like that.
So what do you do, and who are you?
So I think your purpose comes from your pain. I struggled a lot as an entrepreneur in my youth. 19, $300 a month. And so because I struggled so much, I want to make it easier for the next generation. So I'm probably best known for my YouTube channel, 2 million subscribers, 300 million views.
That's crazy. Congratulations on that, man. Like 300 million views. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's by views the largest channel for entrepreneurs in the world. By subs, Gary has more than us. We got more views. So however you want to rank him, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All try to spread the love.
So true.
Yeah, and then invest in businesses, write content, write books. Trying to help entrepreneurs believe in themselves more.
You're coming out with a new book. We're going to get to that. I want to get to your programs. Talk to me a little bit about like the younger, like you're very young, but the younger Evan. You mentioned, 19, and take me back even a little bit further, and my viewers and listeners, like where'd you grow up? And
Sure. I grew up here in Toronto, born and raised, traveled a bunch, but I love coming back to Toronto as my home. I had a lot of entrepreneurial tendencies growing up, with garage sales and baseball cards and like painting and selling it to my neighbors and that kind of stuff.
You had it in you from day one, kind of thing.
Yeah, though, like I don't know how old you are. I'm 39, but growing up, entrepreneurship wasn't, you had to be kind of crazy to be an entrepreneur, right? Now it's great, I love it. I think everybody should try to be an entrepreneur, at least to see. But I didn't know any entrepreneurs, so I thought I wanted to be a bank. I liked money. I asked my parents, how do I make money? Be a banker? Great, I'm gonna be a banker.
Go where the money is, right?
So,
not that you're probably touching it that much, but go where it is, makes sense.
High school yearbook, we're gonna be 10 years, VP at a bank.
Okay.
And so I was 92, 93, the Jays won the World Series. Baseball cards was also at the peak, so I was heavy in the baseball cards, buying, trading. We drove 2 hours, a little bit more out of town to Owen Sound. They would have this big baseball card show just outside of town. So we went almost every weekend. My parents drove me up and negotiating. I'm 12, 13 with people 50, 60, and they'd give me a loonie with mud on the back, and like, I'll take it, it's still $1, and so that's how I cut my teeth negotiating and entrepreneurship. But.
So now you've also sat down with a lot of entrepreneurs, leaders in so many different industries. What's kind of the pattern you've seen that works? Like, what can our viewers and listeners take from some of those conversations that you've had?
I think the first is the people who've had success are mission driven, so they want to accomplish something. Money is important, but it's not number one. But it's not number 5 either. It's not number 100 either. It's like it's in your top 5. You have to learn how to make money, but the people who are really hitting it, they don't have money as their number 1 thing. So if you're just seeing somebody walking in as your next suit or your next car, like, you're gonna lose. You have to have a purpose, a mission, something beyond it. But there's a lot of people who are purpose-driven, but then never figure out how to make money, and then they've got a hobby forever, right? Like, you have to figure out how to make cash doing it.
How would you tell somebody to, so you have a hobby, and is it a matter of pushing out content? Coming from the content king himself, Well, you gotta know what you're good at. What are your strengths, right? You roll in here with your team, and
live action and you're bringing the energy and like this makes sense for you. For somebody who doesn't have your charisma, they might be better at writing. They might be better at just doing an audio-only podcast, right? Like, what are you great at doing? Or maybe it's a service that you provide or a product that you're going to create, right? Are you an inventor? Everybody's, I think, has Michael Jordan level talent at something.
Right.
You got to find what that thing is.
At something. I always say that.
At something. Yeah,
Right.
at something. Like, you are the best in the world at something, right? You are the best in the world at something.
It's a matter of finding it.
You got to find it, and then you got to believe in it to chase it down, because chances are the thing you're great at is not what your parents want you to do or your friends want you to do. It's outside the norm of what's happening in your inner circle right now.
Right.
And so it takes guts to step outside and say, I'm going to go do this when everybody around you thinks you're crazy.
I'm on this new tip right now, Evan, man, and please, like, if you totally disagree, I want to hear it and tell me what your thoughts are. I talk a lot to myself.
Okay.
Okay? And it's...
Like out loud?
Out loud and sometimes like not out loud,
Okay,
right? It's a
okay,
lot,
okay.
Probably in the shower is where I get majority of my thinking.
Good.
And I know it's majority of positive things I'm telling myself, right?
Okay.
Do you think it's a matter, like, how does somebody get there? Like, how do you shut the noise out from parents who maybe say to you that you shouldn't be doing this or you should be doing this?
Sure. So step one is empathy. Step one is understanding that your parents are pilgrims.
Elaborate for me, man.
Your parents don't understand the world that you live in. Your parents, like, I don't know how old somebody is, they're 20 years old watching, 25 years old. Your parents at 20, 25 did not have the same opportunities that you have.
For sure.
It's different. They don't get it. I mean, awesome, love them, but
Right.
they want you to be happy.
Right.
Your parents love you.
Yeah.
Probably. Right? Like,
yes.
98% chance your parents love you, right?
Sure.
So we start with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, my parents love me.
Yeah.
They want me to be successful. Their version of success looks different because they're just from a different generation, a different era. They're pilgrims. They're old school. Like, they don't understand that you can pull out your phone and make money from it. That's a foreign concept to them, right? So that removes the sting. It removes the sting of the words. Like, it hurts when your mom says, "Why don't you go do this?" Or you're never going to make it.
Or you're not
this.
good at something, right?
You're not good at this, right? It hurts, but that removes the sting that they love me and they want me to be successful. They just have a different definition of it than I do.
I love how it's perspective, right?
And here's what it does. It forces you to be the adult in the situation, which is hard to do with your parents. You have to be the bigger person. You got to be the adult in the situation, right?
Yes.
Which is, if you have kids or you have a younger sibling, that's
Yeah.
easier. But with your own parents, like, you expect them to be the mature ones. No, you need to be the mature one, right?
Okay. Starts with empathy.
Empathy is a starting point. Great. So then if you want to have a conversation with them to talk about what you want to do, say, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. It may not work out. I want to be a real estate agent. It may not work out. I don't know if it's going to work out, to be honest. The problem is, a lot of times kids, when they're talking to their parents, will go say, of course it's going to work. I'm going to go do this thing. Look at all these people blowing up. I'm going to blow up too.
Right.
And then the parents get even more worried and afraid because they think you're blind. They think you're not seeing it. And so they're going to double down on the attack. It's like, no, you are missing it. Then it's just this fight. Recognize that most entrepreneurs, it doesn't work out. It's like, listen, I don't know if it's going to work out.
Right.
I know most entrepreneurs don't succeed, but I know that I need to try it. I know that if I don't try it, I'm going to regret it. And this is my chance to at least go off and try, because I'd rather fail and know than not know.
Say that again.
I'd rather fail and know than not know.
know.
I have to remember what I said. Good job. I love my stream of consciousness, too.
I can tell you've done this a few times. You're amazing at it.
It's only because it was the last sentence. I was going to say something else I'm going to forget. And so I may end up having to sleep on a couch, and I hope that it's your couch. So, like, if you're approaching it from vulnerability and weakness and just not sure if it's going to work out, then they say, oh, he's actually seeing it like it is, but I love him, and I don't want him to not know. I don't want him to live with regret his whole life, so let's go, right? Now, that's a starting point. Maybe they still don't understand. Maybe it's a family business that's been around for 14 generations, and you're 15, and you're expected to take over, but you don't want to be in that business. You want to go do something else, right? At some point, you have to decide, when are you going to be an adult? Like, when are you going to live your life?
Right.
When you can love your parents and respect them, but at some point you have to decide, I'm an adult, I'm deciding what my life looks like. When you're 4, you don't have a choice, right? Like, you have to do this. You can't look after yourself. When do you become, is it 16? Is it 18? Is it 25? Is it 32? Are you going to be 45 and still doing what your parents want you to do?
Do you think that's a feeling? Like you just get it and you're like, you know what? I'm ready now to.
This is my life, man. It's like, this is my life. I want to do what I want to do, and if I'm going to fail, it's going to be on my own terms. I know this path doesn't make me happy, so I'm not going to do it.
Like for me, that was not making the jump from high school to college. I never did it. I finished high school, and for me, it was done. I couldn't wait to get out anyways, and my grades proved it. But I wanted, it wasn't this yet. It didn't come to me, but it was like, you know what? I got to deal with people and in the real world. So I think you would agree when I say it has a lot to do with that gut feeling. Like, did you kind of get that yourself? Like, you just felt it in your gut, like, I'm gonna do this now.
You got to trust it. I think a lot of people have the feeling they're not trusting their own voice. There's doubt, there's insecurity, and so then you look for validation from the people around you. They think you're crazy, and so you don't hone in. You don't do the thing.
And you felt insecure, right? Because there's people watching who are looking up to you, Evan, and saying like this guy's sitting in a different place now. You also felt insecure at times too. I'm sure you do, maybe even now sometimes.
If you don't feel insecure, then you hate your life.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, because when do you feel insecure? When you're uncertain, when you don't know what to do. So when do you feel totally secure? When do you feel total certainty? When you're completely inside your comfort zone. Great, if you have no insecurities, that means you hate your life because you're photocopying every day over and over and over again. You want to have variety. If there's nothing in your calendar in the next month that makes you feel insecure, you, me, everybody, you guys watching, you hate your life.
I've done 68 episodes or so, the team will tell me, and it's so funny you said this on the way here. I didn't tell Keegan, my videographer, but I still got that little churn in my stomach, and I've done it 67, and I think I'm okay. I'm not like any type of rock star at it, but I said to myself, I was like, if this goes away, I think I'm gonna stop doing this.
It's because you're pushing to make every episode better.
Well, and I knew who I was meeting with.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
I know that I needed to bring the goods.
Yeah, and that's good. You should have something in your calendar that makes you insecure. It's just the level of what you're taking on is bigger. Like what used to make you insecure doesn't anymore. Like closing a deal is easy for you, and like that stuff is easy. You need to have something that makes you insecure. So for me, like I did all these interviews, and then I had Tony Robbins. We did a one-on-one, right? And
That's my guy.
I mean, that made me insecure.
How was
It was easy, right? But I was so nervous and prepping and reading and getting the perfect questions and all of that stuff. But that's good. Like you need to have the stuff that is pushing you on a daily. The more insecure you are, the more uncertainty that's ahead of you. I think that's where your growth comes from.
What's pushing you now?
I battle my two biggest fears fight each other. My biggest short-term fear is disappointing people. I hate disappointing people. So I'm here early, right? Like you came in like right on time, it would freak me out. I'd be like sweating bullets because like, oh my God, I'm always early, I'm always on time. I'm doing a workshop later tonight. I'm terrified that I won't give value, right?
Right.
Constantly. My long-term greatest fear is regret. That I'm gonna meet if I look to my 95-year-old self and like I'm gonna be disappointed in what I did not accomplish because I was afraid to take something on, right? You don't regret the things you did, it's the things not done. So what did I not do because I was afraid of something, right? So those things, they collide. Because to go and try new things, you're gonna disappoint people. And so it's that constant battle.
Right.
Where am I feeling today?
Right.
Because I need to go off and embrace the unknown, but then I risk disappointing people, and I have to be okay with that. Because if I don't, then I'm going to regret it.
The 39 Evan, what would he tell the 21?
So I hate that question.
Okay.
Because I can't do anything about it, and I don't work backwards.
Right. But the reason I ask it
Yeah.
is because there's a 21-year-old kid listening right now.
Sure. Why I love that question, I flipped it, is because the answer would be believe. And believe in yourself more. My most important core value is believe. Like if you had to pick one core value for you, what would it be?
Faith.
Faith, great. So like your message to your 21-year-old self should be have more faith.
Yes.
But you can't go back and tell that person.
Yes.
But the tricky thing is 95-year-old you coming back to today you with
37.
Same message. You need more faith.
Yes.
He's gonna like look you in the face and say, dude, like stop fooling around, have more faith. And faith and belief are like super tight, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. So, but now it's practical. Now it's practical, right? Because now it's like I don't want 95-year-old Evan to come back and say, believe more or have more faith.
You're
right?
almost reverse engineering it, right? Like,
Now it's practical because I can do something with it, right? But the answer to that question needs to be whatever your most important core value is. So what I tell my 20-year-old self doesn't matter as much for the audience. It's like, what's your most important core value? And that's why you need to start living more.
how did the whole YouTube thing start for you?
I'm a visual learner.
Okay.
I'd much rather see something.
Okay.
That's how I learn.
Yeah.
Right? I could read if I need to, and
Right.
audio is the worst. I consume 0 podcasts.
Wow,
I listen
okay.
to I'm on.
Totally different you and I love that.
I've been on, Thursday is my public facing day. I've been on 13 different shows, podcasts, Skypes all day long. But I don't consume a single podcast.
Got it.
Because it's the slowest way for me to learn. If we were doing this and my eyes were closed, it'd be a lot harder for me I could do it, but I have to focus so much harder than if I can see you.
So if you were doing this on the phone, for example, that would be tough.
Brutal.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I force myself and I have phone calls.
Yes.
But
Sure.
it's not my preferred method at all.
Okay.
Books used to be the way to learn, and
Yeah.
I would read lots of books a year. Now I'm 3 to 4 books a year.
Okay.
Because I would much rather see Tony Robbins say something than read a book of him reading, or typing, or his ghostwriter or whatever, right?
Yeah.
My style.
Okay.
So I started YouTube 10 years ago, April 2009.
Okay.
So it's
been a decade.
at that time, YouTube was not what it is.
Okay.
YouTube was man falls down set of stairs, cat, jumps off of whatever. Like, it's just stupid 30-second.
Silly videos.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I started creating educational content when it didn't really exist. But there was no ambition to be a big YouTuber because it didn't exist. It wasn't a thing. There was no model.
Were you just having fun with it? Like,
It was a combination of one, I'd sold my business, so I got asked a bunch of questions.
sorry, which business was that? Like, what
I had a biotech software company from 19 to 22.
Okay.
I sold it when I was 22.
Okay.
Then from there, it was still 7 years before I went on YouTube.
Okay.
I was speaking, I was doing my website, had 100,000 pages of content, helping entrepreneurs. But
Okay.
YouTube came as an experiment.
Yeah.
One, because people are asking me questions.
Yep.
And it's flattering. I mean, you get people comment and they say, hey, how do I do this? And it always feels good, especially in the early days, though, when you're not getting that many and
Sure.
like, somebody cares about my opinion. It's like,
Sure. Yeah.
but instead of making a 30 to 40 minute email response, I thought, what if I just do a video?
Okay.
I'd rather do a video. I'll send it to them. And I put it on YouTube and maybe 100 people watch it too, and it just spreads, right? That plus I wanted to tell the stories of successful entrepreneurs, dissect their success, because that's how I built my first business. So I started my YouTube channel and started posting content. But I didn't take it seriously. It's just a little experiment. It took me 5 years to get 7,000 subscribers. But that's not the path that, like if somebody's starting fresh, it doesn't have to take that long.
Right.
I was doing a video every 3 months or something. It's just tiny little experiments.
Yeah.
And then I decided to take it more seriously I got my editor and we went daily. And once I started going daily is when the channel really started to blow up.
You said taking it more seriously. Is that like, well, it was the daily? And you also spoke about somebody watching who wants to start doing this. If they want to speed up that process, it all comes down to consistency? Or is that like one of the bigger ones? Sorry,
80% of winning on social, any social, is consistent quality content. The thing that holds people back mostly is they focus on the wrong skill, to be quite frank. So someone like you, charismatic, funny, ask great questions.
Good looking.
Great energy, good looking.
Okay.
So you roll in here, you got 2 guys with cameras on you, filming, you got your thing going. Great. Somebody might say, well, I can't afford 2 camera guys on me right now. Great. You should pull out your phone and do it. Because most people, what they'll do is they'll spend 20 minutes making a video. You're going to talk about real estate or motivation or whatever. And you cut that down maybe to a 10-minute video, but you'll spend 5 hours editing it.
Yes.
You're training the wrong skill. You don't want to be an editor.
I have no idea what they do.
Right, but if you can't afford to get an editor, then your solution should be don't edit.
Phone.
No edit, film. And train the skill of being able to make a 10-minute fire piece of content that needs no editing. Because when you go on stage or when you get asked to be on CNBC or whatever, there's no editing. Like, you got to go, right? And so that's the skill that you want to get good at, but most people end up spending time at the thing that they're not good at. And then you never build enough momentum and traction to be able to hire the team because you're spending all your time on the thing that you're not great at. So you should, if it's someone like you just starting off, you take out your phone and every day you make a 10-minute video giving some advice, knowledge, depth in whatever you're good at, right? Your expertise. 10-minute video and post every single day. And it should take you 12 minutes to do that, to film and then upload to YouTube and put a title on it, go, right?
Right.
We get caught up in quality of production But it's what you're doing is thought leadership. It's more the quality of your ideas. I'd rather you make one video a day where you're hitting me with fire ideas and make me think, more than you upload a video every 2 weeks that have fancy graphics and sound effects on it, right? That's not why I'm coming to you. Now, if you're an editor, like your guys, they have to have fire editing.
Yes.
Right? If I go to their reel and it's him like with a shaky camera, it's like, I'm not hiring this guy as my editor.
What's he doing?
Right?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
for you, thought leaders, that's what you want to be doing.
Now, I want you to talk about, like we're sitting in your studio now,
Yeah.
okay, your place, and thank you again for having us. What are you up to now? I want to talk about the book in a second, but what's some programs that our viewers and listeners, because I have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of realtors, just business people in general. What kind of programs are you offering right now?
So I don't plan too far ahead.
Okay.
I think if you have a 5-year goal for yourself, you're thinking small.
Okay.
I think if you think about who you were 5 years ago to predict that you'd be doing this is ridiculous.
I'm a totally different person.
So
Yeah.
what makes you think that you know where you're going to be in 5 years? It's ridiculous.
So do you go a year?
I have mission, and then
Yes.
like, what am I working on right now?
So like right
Right in front of my face, like I'm here,
Love
right?
it, love
and,
it.
and then mission, that's never going to happen.
Right.
Right?
Right.
A goal so big that you're going to swim forever and never going to get. I don't want to hit the island. I never want to swim to the island. There is no island. I want to swim forever.
It's in perpetuity.
Right? Yes. So what I'm working on right now, I'm working on my book.
Okay.
Just basically signing the agreement, hopefully this week, if not next.
Right.
I have my YouTube course coming up where I'm teaching people how to get their first 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
That is almost done and ready to go. I have my Thought Leadership Academy where I take 15 people and teach them how to be thought leaders, basically do what I do for their industry. 3-day full day, 3 days all-in event in September.
How often does that happen? Is that once a year, the academy?
I've been doing it twice a year.
Okay.
Every time I do it, it's like, this is the last one I'm gonna do because it takes everything. It's like, what can I do with you? You feel this energy, now
Yes.
times it all day long, 3 days, right?
Yes.
And then you're gonna be in front of the camera and I'm gonna be pushing you and like, there's no excuses, right? And the test was if I have you for 3 full days,
Right.
how far could I take somebody?
So you believe in the immersion, right? Like for the 3 days, go hard.
It was an experiment.
Okay.
Because I touch people in a super light way with my videos. I don't really know who they are.
for sure.
And then the people who are around me see massive growth and change by being with me. But they're like hard, they're attached to me.
Got it.
So what's a hybrid where somewhere in the middle, like if I get you for 3 days, what kind of damage could we do together?
Okay.
I get sick after each one because I give everything. I don't post on social except for my students. Like I'm just all in.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, I can't do this again. But then it's like, it's so fulfilling.
The book. What's the book about?
The book is about how to figure out your purpose,
Okay.
coming from your pain, and then how to use that to turn it into a business.
We know that it should be hopefully coming out end of this year, start of next year. kind of thing.
January 2020. It's going to launch with a book tour. We're doing East Coast. Well, Toronto, actually probably Toronto. Toronto, East Coast, US, Texas, maybe Monterey, Mexico, and coming back.
I caught you on an Instagram Live a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I asked you a question, and you had the answer right away, and it was quite profound to me because you have it pretty much down to a system, what your routine is in the morning.
Okay.
And you named off 5 things.
Yeah.
I really want all my listeners to kind of hear that and
Okay.
what the 5 things you do to set up your day.
Sure. Successful people have a routine that sets them up for success. They demand excellence. People don't wake up and roll out of bed on a whatever morning and be like, oh my God, it's Monday. I'm just like, nobody does that, right? Nobody does that. You're tired, you're rolling out of bed, you're sluggish. Everybody's sluggish to start their day. The only difference is successful people demand excellence from themselves and they do the things that help that come out. So for me, I go through 5 S's. The first is sing, so I put on a song that makes me sing. A song that if it played right now, I would have to get out of my chair. Like I'd be fighting to get out of my chair because I
pumps
love
you
it.
up.
Yeah, like we all have those songs. It's a different
Sure,
song, but
for
like
sure.
you want to put on music that would make you want to move, to change your state immediately. So make a playlist, not the same song every day, but make a playlist. Sing is number 1. Sun is number 2, so I go outside. I like to have sun on my face, especially now in summer. It's great in Toronto.
What do you do in Toronto in the winter, though?
Same thing, like outside.
outside.
Get outside, get out of your place,
Love
come
it.
back, fresh air, nature, like it doesn't have to be crazy long. I go for a walk with my wife and my 2 dogs. We're not on the phone, disconnect and just start our day together. But I like just being out in the sun. 3 is soar. So what's the thing that makes you soar? Whatever the thing that you need to do. Everybody's felt bold, confident, unstoppable at some point in their life. What led you to feeling that way? and then do that every morning.
Are you like reminding and playing it back?
No, I do it. No. You got to do
Got it.
something. Do it. Is it watching a video? Is it reading a book? Is it meditation? Is it... So for me, I need to think about somebody that I helped yesterday, and then I need to share a message.
Okay.
To remind myself that the work that I do is important. Because this, like, we got cameras here, but you don't always see or feel the impact that you're having, right?
Right.
What does 300 million views mean? I don't know. It's wild. So I think about, like, maybe tomorrow I'll think about you, and then I'll share a message in the morning. That's what I need to do. But what makes you feel bold, unstoppable, confident, and then do that. So if it's spread the love, right? Act of service. Maybe every day you buy the coffee for the guy behind you in line, or hold the door, or something, right? If that's the thing that makes you feel
small. I love that you mentioned just keeping the door open for somebody, right? Like,
but with intention, like I'm going to do something today to X, right?
Yeah.
To spread love, to right, whatever makes you feel bold.
Okay.
Because if you started your day with the thing that made you feel bold, your life would be different. If you did that every day, you felt bold every day. People, imagine your agents come into your office and all of them walked in already feeling bold. Like it'd be
chest out, ready to go, focused, love it.
But everybody's unique. Like maybe somebody needs to listen to Grant Cardone in the morning, and then maybe somebody needs to pet their cat for 20 minutes. Like who cares?
Totally different stuff.
Exactly, right?
Who cares?
Like I don't care, no judgment. You do your thing. I just want you to show up bold and ready to go today.
Right. Yes.
So that's where even morning routines is just a bit of context, but what I do won't photocopy exactly for somebody else. You got to pick just how it works. You try on the hat and then you adjust. So sing, sun, soar, and then the last two are sweat and scare. So sweat would be some kind of workout, cardio weights, so that I build up a sweat, and then scare, I'll pop in a cold shower because it scares me every morning. And then that's what I do. That's what I do every day.
To set it up.
Yeah, and so you need, the most important part of that is soar, though. You figure out what is the thing that makes you feel bold, unstoppable, confident, powerful, alive, and then you have to do that. Not just remember it, think back to a past experience. You got to do the thing every morning.
I want to thank you so much for your time. Leave my viewers and my listeners with one tip, and it could be from a spiritual perspective. It could be like a tactical, do this on a Wednesday at 3 o'clock on a YouTube channel. And it's like whatever you want to leave.
I got two. The first one is pillow test. The pillow test is before you hit your head on the pillow tonight, you have to feel proud of the work you put in. And I can't judge whether you should be proud or not. I might think you did a crappy job today. If you feel great, I'm pumped for you, right? So are you proud of your effort? Not the results you got. Are you proud of the effort that you put in today? Because you might post some win on Instagram, but you know inside that was easy, right? So like it's the self-talk. You talk to yourself like people do, right? So before you hit your head on the pillow tonight, you have to have done something to make you proud of the effort you put in. That'd be my tip. And then I would just do a quick call out for help in that you've done how many episodes? 60?
67, 68.
67. Dude, this guy's putting in mad effort to make this happen. He's rolling in with camera guy, spending a lot of money making this happen. If you found value in this episode or in all the work that he's doing, spread some love.
Thank you.
Like subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and share this episode or your favorite episode that he's put out with somebody that you know, because he deserves to have more views, more subscribers, more growth, more impact.
Thank you so much, Evan.
That's it, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
If you have a podcast or interview show and want me to be a guest on it, I have two options for you. There's a link right there next to me. Go click it, and I look forward to being a guest on your show.